Okay. All right. The webinar has started, so I'll just give it a few seconds for people to join. Everything up. Okay. Let's get started.
Give it until it hits that 3 o'clock mark, just so we can let people filter in.
Oh, I thought it was 3. Sorry.
We're close.
I have so many things up on my computer. Okay. Okay, people are joining. Awesome. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Angela Lazar, Digital Project Coordinator, and I'll be facilitating this webinar today. And we have Beth Ruzinski, the Marketing Campaign Manager from NCEA, who will be joining us today as well. So thank you for hopping on, Beth. And just a few things as people are joining in. If you have any questions during the Q&A, during the presentation, please feel free to click the Q&A button at the bottom of the screen. You can hover your mouse over the Zoom screen itself, and you'll see a Q&A button pop up on the bottom, and you can submit it there. We'll get to all your questions at the end of the presentation, so just submit them as you see fit. And I'll be sharing a link to the online survey at the end of the webinar, and this will allow you to receive a certificate of completion. It should take no more than 5 minutes to complete, so I'll input that in the chat and you can click in and check it out there. So today's webinar is United in Faith and Community, Make the Most of Catholic Schools Week. We'll discuss how to best use the Catholic Schools Week marketing kit and how to make unique connections to the daily themes. And finally, tried and true trips to borrow and make your own that can absolutely work at your school. So our guest today is Ann Kozlowski, and we are so happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you for having me. So, yeah, my name is Ann Kozlowski, and I'm the principal at St. Simon Parish School. We're obviously a Catholic school located in Los Altos, California. I have been here for 23 years, 4 as the principal, but I taught a little bit in kindergarten and then moved to middle school and taught math from 4th through 8th grade. So anyway, glad to be here.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. And before we start the presentation, we will begin in prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, your light shines brightly on your children and schools. You have inspired us to do good deeds in your name. Bless this school and all Catholic schools and NCEA who work and make your will known in the world. We ask this in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Good luck and have a great time.
All right. Thank you, Angela, for that. And thank you, Ann, for joining us as well. If you all give me just 1 second, I'm going to go ahead and pull open my screen so everyone can see. All right. I think I'm in presentation mode. Ann, can you double check me? Yes? Okay. Great. All right. Well, today, as Angela mentioned, we're going to be talking about Catholic Schools Week. We called this webinar "United in Faith and Community" because that is our new tagline for CSW for the next 3 years. So I'm sure some of you know we update this logo every few years. So this year will be our first logo with this new. I love it. It's like colorful people hugging around a cross, which it really does show United in Faith and Community, which it should be the tagline for all of our schools, right? So. Today, along with our guest, Anne from St. Simon Parish School, we're going to talk just a little bit about Catholic Schools Week, making the most out of it before it starts, when it starts. Of course, this year it starts on January 28th, but in reality, it can start before that in the way that we prepare and the way that we advertise our schools. Where's my mouse here? All right, so why Catholic Schools Week? Why do we use it for marketing? Why do we use it for advertising? And here's why. It's because it's a chance to do a couple of things for our schools. First, we can spotlight our school's values, which is obviously our commitment to faith-based education, moral growth, a nurturing environment, as well as anything else that may be unique to your school and your school's brand and image. We can also deepen community ties by engaging families, alumni, even local business partners to foster those strong relationships and support in both whether it be financial support or time, whatever it is that they have to offer. We can also use this week and the time leading up to it to celebrate our achievements, whether it be excellence in academics or extracurricular activities. It's always fun to see what Catholic schools are doing, not only in comparison to public schools, but just as a whole, how we're doing, throughout the diocese and things like that. And last but not least, of course, where's the money, right? It's an opportunity to drive fundraising, development, and to invite that support, to start now and hopefully continue on forever. So we do have every year daily themes for Catholic Schools Week, and they typically stay the same. I'm just going to run through them really quickly. Sunday is celebrating the parish, Monday celebrating the community, Tuesday the students, Wednesday the nation as a whole, Thursday vocations, Friday faculty, staff, and volunteers, and Saturday celebrating families. This is something Anne and I were just chatting about, for your school, it might look a little different. Maybe you want to celebrate families on a day where you're in school and you can bring families into the school, or you want to celebrate the parish throughout the week, whatever it may be, that's up to you. It's up to you to take that and run with it. But it is nice to have a specific day to highlight every group of stakeholders in our Catholic schools. Obviously, these are the people that keep our Catholic schools running and keep them happy and healthy. So it's just nice to take that chance. Celebrating vocations, it might not be something that you do in, your curriculum throughout the year. So to have a specific day laid out for that and to have resources to help you celebrate that, it's a good opportunity for the schools. Angela is going to be a big help for me in this webinar because I have a few links for tools for you guys. So Angela, could you go ahead and drop into the chat the link for the CSW daily themes. So this website that she's going to share has a little bit more information about the daily themes and how you can incorporate them into your schools. Moving on to Catholic Schools Week marketing. I'm sure some of you are probably well versed with this. Some of you might be rolling your eyes at me like, oh my gosh, this is the worst part of my job, right? So to make it easy, NCEA wants to support you in those marketing efforts and those advertising efforts. We've jotted down a few of our favorite and some of the easiest ways to market your schools leading up to and during the Catholic Schools Week. Sending a letter from the pastor or priest or principal, whoever it may be, having a little personalized touch to your community, spreading the word through news media. We can't even tell you how often this is overlooked, right? Reach out to those local medias, those local TV stations, even local, people on social media, just to get some more word being, word of mouth about your school. Contribute to diocesan marketing efforts. What's the best way to collaborate? What's the best way to share the burden? We have diocesan offices for a reason, so use them. See what they have to help you out. Hanging banners or posters. NCEA has the classic 10 reasons or 12 reasons to choose a Catholic school. We have a link to that as well, Angela, if you want to drop the dozen reasons link into the chat. And then, of course, advertising and social media, which brings us on to some of the other tools that NCEA has for you. First is the social media graphics. Here's an example. I think this is the Facebook one, and the one on the right here is an email banner. So we have these graphics that your school can use. You can download them from the website. And we'll go ahead and drop that link as well. You can use these for social media, put them on your own website, and you can start now, right after Christmas, after the Advent season wraps up. We consider this another part of the liturgical year, right? After Advent comes Catholic Schools Week. So use that to your advantage. Put it on as a banner on your website. Use it as a banner in your emails and communications to your families. They might have no idea what week Catholic Schools Week is. We know because it's the last week of January, but maybe they don't. So definitely go ahead and advertise that as soon as you can. And then this brings us to, last but not least, the Catholic Schools Week Marketing Kit. So this is the biggest and most comprehensive resource NCEA has to offer for Catholic Schools Week, and this kit is remade every year. So this particular one is tailored for 2023 and 2024. It provides a ton of ideas, examples, not only for social media marketing, but also week of activities and things to do, including liturgy planning guides, ideas for welcoming cultures, tips for virtual events, which we are all, I'm sure, sick of, but it's nice to have tips for. Angela, go ahead and drop that link for the CSW Marketing Kit as well. This is a link you have to log in. So you have to have your NCEA member ID logged in order to get access to this. So if you have any questions about getting your NCEA member ID, feel free to reach out to our member services team at services@ncea.org. I can drop that email into the chat if you guys need help with that. They can get you your member ID number so you can get right on to see the marketing kit. I think it's about 30 pages this year, and we've actually added some new pages, which I'd love to show you guys. So I want to bring your attention first to the content marketing planning guide. So this is a great step-by-step guide that can help even the least experienced marketer figure out where and what to say in their marketing efforts. This was developed by our marketing and communications team here at NCEA, and it asks all the right questions for you and your team to think about as you start developing your content plan. The next thing I wanted to bring your attention to is this storytelling brainstorming piece. It's great because it provides a place for you to organize all of those ideas and all that information that you have floating around in your head, right? Storytelling is the best way to market our schools because it's how people identify with us and our product, which is an amazing Catholic education, right? As you can see, it asks questions like, what's your school's mission? What are 3 values in your school community? And it also asks things like, what obstacles do your students face? So if you spend time with these questions, even if you get a small committee of teachers together, it can help you come up with those major points that are unique and important to your school specifically. And that will help you find a string that unites all of the things that you advertise, all the things you say about your school, and it helps build your brand and, more importantly, incite that emotion from your stakeholders, current stakeholders, as well as future stakeholders. So with all of that marketing information that I just threw at you, like Angela said, feel free to drop any questions in the Q&A, and we'll get to those at the end. But first, we'll pass it on to Mrs. K, as her friends know her, and she will talk a little bit about some on-the-ground details, right? When it gets to be January 28th, now what do we do?
Great, thank you. Thanks, Beth. First of all, I just have to say how excited I was to see that your tagline is United in Faith and Community, because our parish and school-wide theme is one community in faith. So I thought it was just
Love that.
amazing, right? How
Love that.
well it tied together. And you'll see through our mission statement that we build the community. It's important to us. Of course, we want to be academically excellent, which you'll see. I'll share our school-wide learning expectations. You'll see that there too, but really guided by those Catholic values. And we want students to be able to experience kind of life as a whole, get a lot of different experiences so they can kind of figure out what they enjoy doing. And then also make sure that we get that service aspect, which you'll see feeds into our Catholic Schools Week as well. So moving on to the next slide, just an overview of our school-wide learning expectations. So of course, spiritual is first, right? Very important, but we got the academically prepared, but we also want students who are inquisitive, right? Aren't afraid to ask questions, want to have that interest in lifelong learning. But the two that we want to focus on really is the neighborly part, about really thinking about others and reaching out to others, as well as, of course, within themselves. And then by trustworthy is, if they say they're going to do something, make sure they follow up, those kinds of things. And then for strong, it isn't like a physical kind of strength, but more of that they face problems, challenges with determination, and also they take a stand for what is right. I say, look, if they see injustices in the world, is there a way that they can act to kind of help that? So with that kind of overall, we came up with our plan. And so this is the plan actually based on what we did in last year's Catholic Schools Week. But I'm going to say that we actually kind of start Catholic Schools Week the week before. So traditionally, we had our open house on the Sunday of Catholic Schools Week, but we found by doing that and then getting more applications and trying to get through the acceptances and all that we were getting squished by when other schools were doing acceptances in our area. So we've actually moved our open house to the weekend before. So we kind of get a preview for Catholic Schools Week. And so this is an opportunity for both our current families and any prospective families to come into the school, have a tour. We do presentations by grade level, so like a K2, and then an elementary, and then a middle school presentation. So that really just gets people interested and starting to learn more about what our school has to offer. So that's kind of how we get things started. We have students are there helping be tour guides, as well as our current parents, and of course staff are there to answer any questions. So it really does bring in the community in that aspect. So then we also have a big basketball tournament that's kind of leads us into Catholic Schools Week. So again, that community building, it starts the Thursday before and runs through the Sunday of Catholic Schools Week. That's when we have our final. So it's our 7th and 8th graders that play in the tournament. We invite schools from or teams from other schools, and then but it's a big community event in that a lot of the rest of the school parents and students come and support our team. So it's a lot of fun to kind of get that spirit going. So then with Catholic Schools Week itself on the Sunday, so in the Sunday bulletin for our parish, there'll be a letter from the principal just thanking the parishioners for their support of our school, explaining a little bit about what we're doing, just so they feel connected to us. And then we also have 2 students speak at every Mass during that weekend. And so it's really fun to listen to the students. They give an overview about what the school is all about, some of the general information. Then they get to share what do they think is special about St. Simon, and what have they appreciated having been students here. And we'll get students as young as 1st grade all the way through 8th grade sharing their thoughts. And so I think it's really powerful, and the parishioners are always happy to hear from our students. So that's a great way to kick off the week. So for that, then we move on to Monday, and Monday is the special day for us in that the Diocese of San Jose has a Catholic Schools Week Mass, and so representatives from all the Catholic schools across the diocese come together for Mass, and it's just really a special time. And during COVID, they took a little break in that it wasn't in person, but we still did it virtually, so it was nice to keep the tradition going. So we send just a group of usually about 8 to 10 students each school brings to the Mass. Then for us, what we did is that was our Show Your St. Simon Spirit Day. And I don't know about your schools, but in ours, we have a regular uniform and we have a PE uniform, and the 2 don't mix. But this is the one day, if they want to mix them, they're welcome to it. So it makes it, they have a lot of fun with that. So anything that just displays their school spirit, they're welcome to wear that day. So it's just a fun way to get things kicked off. The other thing, so moving on to Tuesday. So again, we had a theme for that. So this one, it's kind of evolved over time, but each class decides what dress theme that they want to have. So it can do a myriad of things. So we have our little 1st graders one year did their 100-year-old selves. So they did that, or they might just pick a color and go with a color theme, or they might do animals or anything. And sometimes they'll pick the older grades, especially a pop culture icon, and they'll all dress up like that same person. Or they might, we had someone do different kinds of like idiomatic expressions. So like a pig in the blanket. So they dressed in a little pig costume with a blanket on, or Nickelback, the group, they had a nickel on their back. That was all they did, right? So different kinds of things that make it do make it a lot of fun. But for us on the Tuesday, it's also kind of our teacher appreciation. So we will be bringing a coffee cart in for them that day, and certainly I'm sure your teachers are the same. They really appreciate the coffee. So we do it usually once at the beginning of the year, and then this time to celebrate them as well. So that's it for us for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, this is for us our what we call our Generations Day. And for us, I think this is one of the most special days of the week. Our students get dressed up in their plaid uniform to come. I mean, to welcome visitors that come. And so we have different, I'd say just whoever is special to them in their lives, they're welcome to bring them. So a lot of times it is the grandparents, but if the grandparents aren't in the area or whatever, they can bring their aunts, their uncles, their neighbors, just friends, anybody they want to share the day with. And from there, we start with Mass. So we welcome them. We have a special Mass for them. And then when Mass is done, we give directions. So the students are in their classroom and their visitors, we have a map set up so that they can go and find them in their classroom. And then once they're connected, then they have a wide variety of activities to do. Of course, we always have food so they can enjoy a snack of some kind. But then we have different stations set up, and it's really a lot of based around STEM activities. So there'll be like a maker space, and we have several of them spread throughout the campus. And so there'll be some that are geared like a K-2 and maybe a 3-5 and a 6-8. And all different kinds of things, like they might sometimes there's one, the fourth grade, or the third through fifth grade one is really popular. We have a wind tunnel, and so they create little things and they see how well they can fly in the wind tunnel. Or they might build a little car and see how quickly it can race, or they do pop rockets and all different kinds of things. And we found, even though we try to gear them to age groups, sometimes they want to try them all. So they just kind of move their way around the campus and visit the different stations. We also have our art room set up for people to do collaborative art projects. And last year we had an auction, and our theme was Under the Sea, which was just a few weeks after Catholic Schools Week. And so for Catholic Schools Week, we painted a big like sea mural. And then from there, all the visitors for Generations Day drew different sea creatures and then put them on the wall. So it was just really, it was visually spectacular. It was really lovely. But that's one example. We've also in the past done where each of the visitors did a part of a feather, and then they were put in together to make wings. And then people could stand behind them. And then other times it's been like a butterfly type of thing, also another kind of wing theme that they could then have pictures taken there. And then we always have some kind of photo area. We have a parent volunteer that comes in and helps us with that, but then takes pictures so that when we send thank you notes for our visitors for having come visit us, we include a picture in there. So it's just a nice memento for them. So again, it's a really, really special day for all of us at St. Simon. And then on Thursday, so I'm going to back up for just a second. We used to have a pretty steady service day that we would do during Catholic Schools Week. When COVID hit, we really were precluded from doing a lot of what we had done before. And so we've been slowly trying to get that back up again. So that's why right now our schedule shows a tentative service day. Last year, we did send our 8th graders to help with a building project. It was a home for women and children, but it got into disrepair during COVID. And so they wanted to reopen it. And so our students went to help them. And they didn't do it all, but they were able to be there for a morning, and they helped with the gardening. They helped with some painting, just general cleaning, just a lot of things. So that was one example. But some of the other service things that we've done in the past is we've partnered with some of our local parks, and the students have gone and done weeding, right, of plants that are not, they're invasive species, and so they're trying to get them out. So they would do that. We have classes that have gone to our animal assisted happiness, and so they help maybe care for the animals for a little while, or help do different projects if that's something they're interested in. We've also worked where groups of students have gone to different neighborhoods and just helped clean up trash along the roads and things, safely, of course, but we make sure that they're okay with that. And then it's also an opportunity. We send some students to our local recycling plant so that they can learn more about reuse, reduce, recycle, and how they can bring that back to the school. And so typically our older students are the ones that go off campus, but there's also plenty of service things to do on campus. Some of our younger students, they'll also help clean up our campus. They might do some gardening. We have some vegetable gardens in the back. They might do some, prep them for planting or whatever needs to be done. The church can get cleaned too, right? That's always a good, right? They can help kind of tidy things in the church, which we definitely appreciate that. And then also doing card writing. Students just notes to the parishioners, or if there's, a local assisted living place that they'll send cards to. So they work on that. And I'm going to say kind of related to this, but something else that we've started doing this year is we do have, I'm sorry, this is long-term. We have service projects for each of our grade levels that they continue throughout the school year. But we have one of our grades that now does letter writing to our neighbors, just to let them know, well, first of all, to welcome to the beginning of the school year. And then when we have big events on campus saying, hey, just want to let you know, we have our Monster Mash coming up for Halloween. So the parking might be a little challenging. We just wanted to give you a warning and, come join us if you'd like. And so that will be part of this too, is to send a letter again, just letting them know about Catholic Schools Week, and probably to give them a heads up about our Generations Day, because it will be more crowded, and just to say how happy we are that we're neighbors with them. So that's kind of the plan. And then last year, our student council decided they wanted to have PJ and bed headdress day. So that's what we did on Thursday. So everybody was comfortable that day, and they really enjoyed that. And so then Friday, we typically reserve for our Student Appreciation Day. And last year, of course, it was on the Feast of St. Blaise. That won't be the case, I don't think, this year. I'll have to look and see, actually. I'm not sure the date. But what we did is we had a assembly in the morning. We've had like the drum presentations. Last year was trick bike riders. So the students really had a lot of fun with that. Do that all together. And then we usually have the St. Simon Theater opens in the afternoon. And so students get to pick get a ticket to a movie, and then they're told what room the movie will be showing in, and they go to the movie and they have popcorn and just kind of enjoy a fun afternoon. And of course, I think I didn't mention before, but for that Student Appreciation Day, they do get free dress, which they're always happy to have. So they really enjoy that. So I think that's just kind of an overview of what we do for our Catholic Schools Week. The comment, I guess, about also for volunteers and our staff, right? We mentioned about the Teacher Appreciation Day, but we are always grateful for our volunteers. And one event I forgot is we do have a big volunteer dinner the week before as well, to thank everybody for everything that they've done for us. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we do for Catholic Schools Week. So this part, oh, sorry, I'm just back up. So this is just so you get an idea. This is the map that we use for our Generations Day. So you can see we just give it to all the families so they kind of know where to go, where the check-in is, and then kind of what's happening. The backside will have the agenda. The mass, of course, will be in the church, and then where the photo booths are and the different activities all throughout the campus. And I didn't think I mentioned this too, but as their parents and our guests are wandering with their students, they're of course welcome to wander our halls. They're always decorated with students' writing samples or artwork, different kinds of projects that they can share as well. And then this is just a couple of pictures from our day. So the one on the left was our 8th graders when they went to Casa de Clara to help do some painting. So they were getting prepped and painting. And then the wind tunnel I mentioned is right there. So the kids can see what happened to their creations. And then, as I mentioned, we do have the photo area. So they get to take their picture and take that home. So they have a souvenir of the day. So, okay, so that is the end for my slides then. Okay, thanks.
Awesome. And thank you so much for sharing. I loved all of those great tips and tricks. What sounds awesome about Catholic Schools Week at St. Simon is it's not just dressing up, right? It's not just, oh, we have, the different theme and it's all about dressing up, right? It's about what is unique about our Catholic schools, right? And it is that our families are part of it, our communities are part of it, and bringing them all in and honoring those volunteers and honoring everybody. It's such a special week. I remember when I was a teacher, Catholic Schools Week was one of my favorite weeks, and I definitely miss it. So hopefully I can go visit a couple of schools that are doing something fun this year. Angela, did we have any questions come up in the chat?
I did not see any questions. I do want to let you know all the links have been included in the chat as well. So
Yes, and for our participants, those links will go away as soon as we end this webinar. So you might want to just go ahead and open them now so you can bookmark them, save them, whatever you need to do with them so that you can refer back to them. Of course, you can always reach out if you need to find them, or Google search, NCEA Marketing Kit. I'm sure some of it will come up.
yeah.
Angela, did you send the survey as well?
Yes, I did. I actually just included it in the chat. So the last link that I sent you, that's the one that is the uh final link that's a review. You can submit your thoughts and your opinions about today's webinar. Please take a moment to do that. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes to complete. Just helps us to better make our services more according to your liking, just ways that and opinions that you have about our sessions today. So if you're interested in receiving it, please include your email address and your name at the end of the survey so it does get sent to you. Sometimes it does get sent to your spam, so please make sure to check that. And we appreciate you joining today's webinar. And if you're interested in any of our future webinars, you can visit ncea.org/webinar. And thank you, Anne, for joining us today. And thank you, Beth. We appreciate your time today. It was a great session. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Hope you all have a great week.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.
Take care.